Hey, good afternoon, heathens. Welcome to our Sunday afternoon Meet the Atheist series. I first ran into Kaz on YouTube. I saw one of his debates on modern day debates, and I was like blown away. It was such a powerful opening statement. I said to myself, we have to introduce this guy to you guys so you can also go and follow him and have a look at his content. Extremely, how can I say, a very clear-cut, rational approach. The only thing that I got from that opening statement that he delivered on modern day debates was like, watch out, because this is a force to be reckoned with. Let me bring you in. Good afternoon, good morning to you, Kaz. Thank you for waking up so early on a Sunday.
No, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it, Dean. Thank you for the kind words too. I really appreciate it, man.
Say what?
Thank you for the kind words. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Yeah, this is one of the passions of our community here in Cape Town is nurturing community. So whenever we, you've been around for a while, most probably, but whenever we encounter someone new, we'd love to introduce him to our community. And it's just the process of emboldening a marginalized community, especially here in Africa. Atheism is, we've got a very secular constitution. So you're free to believe whatever you want to. If you want to believe in the flying wood pixie, you're very welcome to do that. Nobody gives a damn, But for some reason, there's this stigma around atheism, and people who, who don't believe in any gods are viewed as devil's spawn, here to corrupt the world and corrupt the country. So, we've decided just to, launch an initiative, and we want to speak to as many different atheists as possible, and just to show that, atheists are your neighbors, they're your co-workers, they're your friends.
Just people.
Just people, exactly. Yeah. No hidden agendas and no monkey business on the side. So let's launch into it. Tell us a little bit about your background. Did you grow up in a religious environment at all?
Oh yeah. So I was born into and raised for the first, let's say, 10 years of my life as a Jehovah's Witness. When my
that's like Christianity supercharged on steroids.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting thing. It's interesting because a lot of people have the experience of growing all the way up in the Jehovah's Witnesses and then leaving on their own accord. But we left because my mother took us out of it when I was around 10 years old. My parents divorced, and then we became this Southern Baptist type thing, and we joined the church with my grandmother, and I was in that belief system for the remainder of my childhood until I'd say when I became an adult. Joined the military, went to Iraq. I say throughout my adulthood, I had this amorphous, non-denominational Christianity, I like to call it. And when I came back from Iraq,
watered down, what did they say? Watered down Christianity to make it more palatable.
Yeah, exactly. You make up your own version of Christianity just to make it all make sense in your own head. And then I went to Iraq. I started doubting a lot of things. It really changed everything, and that's what I usually say is the thing that started me on the path to atheism, but it didn't really solidify it. But that's where the questions started coming in. And then when I got back from Iraq, I used my GI Bill to go to college. I went to college at a Baptist university, and I took Old Testament and New Testament history. And by the time I was done with those, I was sure that I'd be an atheist. So
it's very strange how people say, no, you must just read the Bible, study it, and it has exactly the opposite effect.
Yeah, they make you read the whole Bible again in Old Testament and New Testament history, and they give you the whole academic literature, and they teach you the whole thing, and all the things that you learn in the atheist YouTube videos that you know, you're hearing it from an atheist, you're hearing it from a somewhat biased source. You're like, is that really true? And but are you really going to go out and study all that? Are you going to go read the primary research and literature? No, you're not going to do that, right? So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
went to college for it, and
yeah, yeah.
lo and behold, when I'm hearing all these things, I still have all the lectures from my college courses. So, you know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
all there.
But this is the thing that I find extremely interesting. You know, like some people go through exactly that same process that you did, and they come out on the other side. You know, like how can I say, like super cyan Christians. You know, they, you know, so there has to be something within a person's makeup. You know, be it just a little bit of skepticism or a hint of critical thinking or something that you know, that sparks off that process of analyzing things critically. Because I mean, speaking for myself, I was also in that position where you know, I bought it hook, line, and sinker from a very young age. You know, it was not even questioned or doubted. You know, God said poof 6,000 years ago, mudman, rib woman, the zoo boat, everything. But yeah, no, it's interesting. It's very interesting.
Yeah. Are you willing
Yeah,
to buy
so
the spin? That's the question. Are you willing to buy whatever
that's
they're
the
going to spin
thing.
it on?
That's the thing. You know, and I think it also depends upon the spin doctor. You know,
True.
the spin
Definitely.
doctor that's standing at the pulpit that's giving
How
you,
skilled.
yeah, how skilled they are, how skilled an orator they are. Yeah, so you know, let me just have a quick look here.
I'm tempted. I know this is your show, so I'm tempted to start interviewing you, though. But I'm gonna leave it. When you come on
You
my
are
show, I will start grilling you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome to. I mean, like, fuck, you know, like I tried every single
Eh,
religion I've
I just
probably
want to
done.
know: have you been an atheist your whole life? That's really what I want to know.
I haven't. No, 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 no.
Okay.
I've been an atheist probably for about 12 years now. It was, you know, it was also like a gradual process for me. You know, it
Hmm.
wasn't like I woke up one morning and I said, "Ah, oh, God is bullshit," blah blah blah. You know, it was a very gradual process of
Right.
reluctantly letting go. You know, and letting go of more and
Hmm.
more things as I learned more information and I was exposed to different ideas. I mean, I always had this weird yearning for some, you know, like some woo-woo in my life. You know, I needed some form of spirituality or connection or whatever it was. And I think as I grew a little bit older, it just became less and less important to me. You know, like I stopped looking for validation from without and started looking for validation from within, you know. And
Oh, yeah.
religious community is very good at doing that. You know, they're very good at validating you as a person and making you feel good and feel special and feel wanted and feel like you belong. And
Those
but yeah,
dopamine hits. It's like a drug. I want
it's
one more
exactly.
question. Is it
Yeah.
hard to find other atheists in Cape Town there?
It not per se, you know, like it's the demographics here are about you know, they say about 10% of the population. So
Oh, okay.
it's you know, we've tried to build communities, you know, but the atheists are like herding cats. You know, they really they
Yeah.
follow their own. They've got their own person in you know, in the cockpit flying the plane. There's
We all
you
are
have
our own gods.
yeah, you have to find people, you know, that are like-minded, and you know, that's why, you know, I mean, I first joined the atheist community here by, you know, hooking up to Atheist Republic. They've got like a network of Facebook groups here, and you know, from the online community, we started to do meetups and meet in person. We had a couple of brunches, and then COVID hit, and then everything went to shit. And now now we're doing everything online. And yeah, but we soon, I'm sure we'll soon resume, you know, resume our on in-person meetings. You know, they were, you know, we used to do like brunch, and when we used to go for brunch on Sunday mornings, everybody's sitting in church and we talking smack about church in the cafe next door.
Yeah,
Um,
totally.
so, was there like a specific turning point, like a linchpin for you? Was it just the studying and the encountering of different ideas, or?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I couldn't boil it down to the specific. Like, I would say that it is those those two things, the deployment to
Yeah.
Iraq combined with the studying in the in college,
Yeah.
it just shook me. It shook me out of my apathy and gave me a different perspective of empathy. And then with the knowledge that I gained from the class, I couldn't be a Christian anymore. And then
Yeah.
from then on, I just had to understand where I was going to come from.
Yeah. Yeah. But Kaz,
Going
don't you know
forward.
there are no atheists in foxholes?
Yeah, that's not true. That's definitely not true. I wasn't praying to anybody when I was getting blown up or anything. So I mean, it's really like the one time that the vehicle that I was in got hit by an IED. I was just worried about trying to check on everybody that was in the vehicle and make sure everybody was okay. I really wasn't praying to anybody. Oh my God, am I gonna live or die? I did think I was dead for a second, just because there's an explosion and it's completely black and smoky and dusty, whatever. But no, I didn't stop to pray or anything. So
Yeah. And for me, discovering an online community was really vital to getting new information, because I was in a very insular community. My everybody around me was religious. Nobody had a shred of skepticism. So was there any organization or influence or something that was instrumental in you starting to question? Was it maybe a lecturer at college, or was it just being exposed to new ideas at college?
No, the questioning came from within.
Right.
I'd say completely. The instrumental figures in the actual conversion process, though, people like Amazing Atheist, Cult of Dusty, Christopher Hitchens, Atheist Republic, definitely tuned into a lot of their stuff. Atheist Experience, Matt Dillahunty, Aaron Ra, Richard Carrier, Bart Ehrman, all of them,
Yeah. It's weird, when you first pull the plug from the barrel, it's like you can't put it back in.
Yeah. Yeah. You get introduced to, the more crass atheists, and, you hear the criticisms of them, and then you're like, okay, so is there anybody else of substance? And then you go looking and you find them, and you get more and more refined, and the ideas evolve in your head. That's just how it goes.
I remember the first time I was still a believer, and I heard I saw a video of I think it was Madeleine Murray O'Hair ripping into a Christian, and I was so shocked, to myself, wow, there's people who
Yeah, she was spicy.
She was hard. She was fire. She was a spicy jalapeno. I'm telling you. She didn't take nonsense.
Yeah, I liked her.
Yeah. It's just a pity what happened to her at the end. And then activism is also something that's very close to my heart. Wherever I can find the opportunity to make a difference, even if it's doing small things in my community or just reaching out to help other people, I leap at the opportunity. This is one thing that religion tries to hold a monopoly on, is compassion, altruism, and just being a humanist at the end of the day. They've hijacked all of that and wrapped it in this morality from the clouds bullshit. So I was wondering if there's any activism or projects that you are involved with, online or in person.
No, I don't think I have any. I don't think I have any projects or anything seriously solid like that. I mean, no, I wouldn't say so. I wish there was. Are there anything that you can recommend I could check out to try to do?
Well, it's not necessarily for everybody. Some people, I guess it depends on your passion. For me, it's a passion for the environment and a passion for for people who are homeless. That's that's something that I'm very passionate about, because
well, let me tell you, I'm a hair's breadth away from being homeless, like myself, you know. I got kids to
My
take
friend,
care of and stuff.
we are all just one
Yeah,
paycheck away from the street. I'm telling you. But
no, but
they're
it's
the
the
most
thing though.
vulnerable people in our society, you know. Like, and this is the thing that irks me about Christianity, especially, is they prey on the vulnerable. When
Yeah,
people are at their lowest, you know, instead of actually giving them a hand up, they give them a rope to rope them in, you know. And that's the thing where, you know, a lot of secular work can be done. And you know, activism doesn't need to be you know, going out in person and, you know, like cleaning up beaches and saving whales and, you know, rallying politicians to, you know, do something. It can be something as simple as just, you know, being a presence, being a voice against the you know, against the oppression of religion, because it's a very oppressive force here, especially in Africa. You know, you know, people are brainwashed, like literally. We have people drinking bleach as pastors command them, and eating, like literally eating grass outside churches, you know, because pastors command them. It's scary. It's scary what happens here. You know, it's I think it's a blend of superstition and culture that comes with that authority figure, and this person is speaking for you know, for God, so he has a level of authority that he exerts on people. And it's nonsense, you know. It has to stop, you know. So you know, as long as there is a voice in opposition, I feel that you know, we are actively opposing something, and in that active opposition we are activists to a certain degree. But it's not for everybody, you know. Like
well,
you
I
know,
think
we
that we have
encourage,
a
yeah, I'm sorry, we also just encourage people to do what they're comfortable with. You know, if it's not for you, then it's not for you, you know.
no,
um
I get it. I think that we have a you know, we have a problem with taking credit for the things that we do sometimes, you know, like, you
yeah,
know, speaking up and standing up for things and calling it activism. Sometimes it may not feel, you know, totally honest sometimes, just
yeah,
because
yeah,
even though you're doing something and maybe it is having some kind of effect, or maybe you're doing things in your community that you know, little things here and there, but they're not like, you know, commitments. They're not like, you know, something that you're really actively pursuing on a regular basis, and so you
right,
don't feel like the need to stand up and tell people about it, or, you know, take credit for it and anything like that. But, you know, it's something, it feels, I don't know. It's just it's a weird thing for me, at least. I
yeah,
don't know
yeah,
if other
yeah.
atheists feel that kind of way, but I feel like if I'm going to call myself an activist, I really have to be entrenched. You know?
That's because you grew up when Greenpeace were chaining themselves to oil
Yeah,
tankers.
yeah. I feel like I've got to be
Because
something like that
that's
if I'm
what
going
you
to call myself
visualize as
a
an activist, you know. It's like a person
totally,
that
yeah,
chains themselves to a tank, or that chains themselves to an oil tanker in the harbor.
yeah.
um yeah, yeah, no, I agree 100%. um uh, yeah, well, what you know, at this stage, what are you passionate about? Like, what drives you to do what you do? You know, and also tell us the name Factitionalist Network, you know, like
Oh,
where
factitionless.
does that come from?
Oh, that word is basically
Or
just a,
factitionalist, I beg your pardon, isn't it?
yeah, factitionless. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just a made up word. It's supposed to be this uh I don't know.
It's probably a play.
It's just
It's
a made
probably
up word.
a play on fact and fiction, and
Yeah,
and
it's basically just to be a factualism
yeah,
philosophy, but branded, you know, because, you know, you can't brand things that are already in
yeah. You have
existence.
to brand yourself
Uh
on on
yeah,
social media.
but yeah, it's factualist philosophy applied to hopefully politics, hopefully everyday life,
Yeah,
and the I what I'm passionate about is trying to, you know, bridge gaps between people and bring people together in open discussion, in honest, humble discussion, so that people can hear each other out and we can actually get somewhere as far as solving these problems that we have, that are legacy problems from previous generations, like racism and sexism and all these other things that I feel that should have been solved by our previous generations, and I feel like it's incumbent upon our generation to make some headway on these things, so that we don't leave that for our children. I think that if our children grow up in a world where there's any kind of sexism, racism, war, or any of these legacy problems, we've really messed up here. And we really need to fix this, you know? Like, I resent our parents for that, and I think our children have a right to resent us for that.
No, it's 100% true. And then, now upon reflection, when you cast your mind back to a younger version of yourself, what would you say to yourself just to kickstart this whole process? If I could say something to my younger self, it would be like, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Don't trust people in authority because they're bullshitting you.
So I would tell myself to read the whole Bible.
Yeah.
The whole, from start to finish.
Yeah.
And because the way I got through the Bible the first time was like pretty much backwards. I think it started with Revelation, you know?
Revelation is like
it wasn't me reading it. It was my parents giving it to me, you know? It was my parents giving it to me. And before that, it wasn't even the Bible. It was a storybook Bible, right? So, you're just going through the storybook Bible. There's going through all these other things. I would tell myself, read the actual Bible from start to finish, and do it earlier in your life than when you actually did. So that way you can just know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I've heard it said as well that religion is when somebody reads the Bible to you, and atheism happens when you read it for yourself.
Totally.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's a passion of mine as well. Like we see firsthand here in Africa the harm that religion does to people. I think it's pretty benign. Okay, I mean, it's a vast generalization to say that religion is benign in in the States and Canada, because I'm sure it also has harmful impacts. But to the extent where it's used as a tool for oppression and subjugation here in Africa, it's something that doesn't sit right with me from the word go. And I always ask people. It's for me, it's almost like a cultural genocide happened here. It's like a cultural genocide happened here. An entire culture was erased and replaced with white Jesus from the Middle East, and it's shocking, and it's such an atrocity. I don't know exactly what the specific background is in the area where you live, but religion has a net negative impact, wherever I encounter it, be it, we also have quite a sizable Muslim population in South Africa, which I know you guys don't have, but there was also some extremism and things here a couple of years ago that was extremely scary. So, for me, it's just about the net good, like if you weigh up the positive and the positive you can get from any philosophy. You can get it from humanism, you can get it from Zen, you can get it from whatever you want to, and then you look at the harm that it does, and I'm not only talking about physical harm, I'm talking about mental harm. Like we have members in our consulates that are still have psychological damage from this. It's like that whole lifetime of fear, like being forced to love something that you have to fear as well, which is it has an impact on your psyche, and you grow up as a person with serious issues. Firstly, trust issues in relationships, trust issues with authority. There's so many different issues that people grow up with. So these conversations are very important, because like I said earlier, it just emboldens the community to realize that, hey, there's people like me, there's somebody else like me who thinks like me. I'm not alone in this world. This is I don't have some weird mental disease or deficiency that makes me think this way. It's pretty normal and pretty natural. What are your thoughts on that?
No, I totally agree 100%. Yeah. It's very isolating. Even here, I don't know like my specific area's demographics on atheists or whatever, but in my family, for sure, I'm the only one.
Yeah.
Thankfully,
Me
my
too.
wife is an atheist. She was a Christian when I met her. You know, she made me go to church with her, and I don't even know how she converted. Honestly, I can't wait to hear her conversion story. But yeah, it's isolating. It's so lonely to be the only person that you know that doesn't agree with these stories, and then have everybody around you just look at you and be constantly judging you and thinking that you're just going to burn in hell, and they have no desire to understand you whatsoever. And you know what they are, how they feel like, because you've been there. You've already had those beliefs and thoughts before, but they have never even indulged in these logic pathways before, and it's just sad. But yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from there.
Yeah, right. This has been really been fascinating. You know, like I love you know, talking to different atheists, and like I said, I've talked to people in Egypt, some people in Morocco, and it's weird how I don't know, you know, like I think maybe as people's minds grow hotter from the temperature, you know, like because Africa's hot, you know, as people's minds get baked by the sun, the religion like bubbles up and just becomes a little bit more potent and stronger for some reason.
Oh no, I hope not.
Nah, that's just I kid you. Yeah, so you know, in conclusion, you know, where can people find you on social media? You know, I'll post a link to your YouTube channel. Do you have any other social medias that you want to promote?
Yeah, I guess I'm on Twitter at Factitionalist, Instagram also at Factitionalist. I have a Facebook page and YouTube. Everything is linked on my YouTube video, so you can find it all there. Discord server, all that crap. So
I'll post a link. I'll post a link to the channel, you know, in the description when I load it up to YouTube. Yeah. So, any other questions you have for us?
I do want to just say I really do appreciate you having me. Thank you so much, and I do hope that you come on my channel sometime and we can talk some more about you know, just whatever is pressing on your mind. You know?
Sure, anytime. Just drop me an email. We can set something up.
I really would like to know more about the climate for atheists in South Africa, and you know how things are going there for them.
Yeah, no problem. We can set that up. You know.
Okay.
So yeah, you know, thank you very much for being so generous with your time, for waking up so early on a Sunday.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah, take care. Stay in the stream afterwards.
Okay. Take care, everybody.